Good morning, everybody. Your ceremony will start in a few minutes, so please take your seats. If you have a mobile phone, please ensure this is now turned off or set to silent. Official photographers will move around the cathedral during the ceremony. You are welcome to take your own photos, but please do not leave your seat or obstruct the view of others. In the unlikely event that the fire alarm is activated, please remain where you are unless an announcement is made to evacuate the building. During the ceremony, each graduate's name will be read out individually as they cross the platform, and we congratulate them all with applause. We hope that you enjoy the ceremony, and please continue your celebrations with us on the Cathedral Green afterwards. Now please stand for the procession. Thank you.
Please be seated. High Sheriff of Cheshire, Sheriff of Chester, Pro-Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests. A warm welcome to Chester Cathedral. My name is Jill Reeve, and I'm one of the chaplains at the University of Chester. In addition to those of us gathered here in the cathedral, we're also joined by others online, and we extend a really warm welcome to you too. Today is a special day, and for some of you it has been exceptionally long awaited, but it is here at last. We are so glad that we can now come together to celebrate your wonderful achievements through this graduation service. Many of you have friends and family alongside you who have supported you through the ups and downs of your studies and who now share in the immense joy of your success. As students, you have studied during extraordinary times that have required multiple adjustments and given many additional pressures. And we want to acknowledge your incredible resilience, commitment, and determination. You will now join a long line of graduates from the University of Chester, equipped to serve society in a variety of ways. The University of Chester has a long tradition in this regard, being founded in the 1830s as a Church of England teacher training college and growing into the university that it is today, with regional, national, and international reach. We now welcome students from across the world, and this enriches our community life and our learning in so many ways. Alongside those graduating today, we're also conferring honorary degrees, acknowledging those who have made important contributions to society from beyond the university. And we are delighted to be able to introduce you to one of our honorary graduands later in this service. And so now, I would encourage you to put all distractions aside, including whether the caps are going to stay on your head, and simply enjoy this moment. And remember that your graduation is not an ending, because you are becoming part of our alumni community, and we hope you will feel an ongoing sense of belonging and support. So please do stay connected. As we begin our service, we unite our hearts and our prayers for each one of you graduating today. Let us pray. May God, who has gifted each of you uniquely, enable you to use your talents in creative ways to help people, communities, and places to flourish. May God keep alive in you a spirit of inquiry and exploration, with an openness to question and be questioned in the search for truth and a better world. May God grant you a heart of compassion, with attentiveness to those on the margins, ready to speak up for justice, to extend a hand of welcome, and to offer practical support to those in need. May God give you wisdom in all that lies ahead, and help you to use your time and your talents well, with the courage to pursue your vision, even when faced with obstacles and disappointments. May God enable you to see new possibilities and wider horizons, and give you confidence to step out in faith with a sense of adventure, joy and hope. And let integrity be your guide. And may God bless you today and in all that lies ahead. Amen.
Permissum vicis in eo. I declare open this congregation for the presentation of degrees and awards. I'm looking at my watch because I have to decide whether to say good morning to you or good afternoon to you. And if I wait long enough, it'll be, however, welcome. I am Canon Dr. Jeff Turnbull. You may also hear me described as Pro-Chancellor or President of the University Council. What that means is I have the privilege of chairing the university's governing body. And the honour, the real honour today of presiding at the graduation ceremony for these wonderful people in front of me. But as I look out, it's a little chastening because I become aware of the fact that when I first joined the governing body, most of you weren't born. I am that old. But looking at you, I realize that you are what makes my role so worthwhile and rewarding. As a former Director of Education for the Diocese of Chester, I'm particularly pleased to be addressing a ceremony which includes so many successful learners. You who are applying the knowledge you have gained with such creative flair. As many of you will know, our university strategy centres around the concept of the citizen student, giving you a personalised and purposeful time with us. Within the 2021 graduating cohort, we have those of you from art and design who were undeterred by the limitations of 2 lockdowns. You continued to produce innovative pieces, uninhibited by the lockdowns. You had restricted access to workshops, materials, and even the subjects and locations of your work, which culminated in a virtual decree show attracting visitors from across the world. The class of 2021 was also shortlisted for the prestigious Arts Thread and Dazed Global Design Awards. Our digital photography students, possibly inspired by the rigours of the pandemic, devised Duality, a multimedia virtual exhibition depicting our withered psychological makeup. Similarly, those of you who completed your music, media and performance studies channeled your imagination to successfully overcome the challenges of home study with a series of online performances, workshops and exhibitions. Final productions included the Laramie Project, detailing how the reaction to the homophobic murder of an American student was pivotal in reforming hate crime legislation in the United States. Our drama students have not shied away from difficult subjects. You worked on a project with the Hospice of the Good Shepherd for young people dealing with bereavement. And, in collaboration with our law school, filmed short scenes which brought court cases to life. For all of you, your destinations are as varied as the disciplines in which you are now experts. Some of you, for example, are now working in theatre and education with professional companies, as freelance actors for stage and screen, or as freelance editors. Our fashion design students developed social conscience through a project with Ecopel and PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Working with Faux Fur, you supported sustainable fashion through the promotion of bio-based and upcycled materials produced responsibly. Our dance and performance arts degree students had a once-in-a-lifetime experience being treated to a pioneering masterclass delivered by one of our honorary graduates. The multi-award-winning Wayne McGregor is a director and resident choreographer for the Royal Ballet, and his workshop was live streamed to our students at Creative Campus, Kingsway. You learnt repertory from Living Archive, the newest work from his company, incorporating artificial intelligence with bespoke tools developed by Wayne with Google. This really is groundbreaking art. Our music journalism students have published for titles such as The Tomorrow Journal, which looks at issues in contemporary society through the lens of a shared future responsibility. Some of you were also panelists at the Louder Than Words Festival of Music Writing. All of these opportunities will serve you so well. Your collective sense of purpose has shone through despite the pandemic. Getting involved, demonstrating exceptional resilience, and always growing in wisdom, which is why you are here today. I know you will carry those valuable qualities forward into your working and home lives. I look around and see how many people from different backgrounds have flourished at a uniquely challenging time. You have demonstrated how highly motivated and flexible you are, negotiating the extension of digital learning and the complexities which COVID brought. We hope you have fond memories of the University of Chester, and that the values we have shared remain with you now and into the future. If you look at the faces around you, it will be a valuable picture for you to keep in your mind so you can recall your achievements in the future. You've waited a long time to celebrate, and your accomplishments are all the more significant. But remember, now you are no longer a student. You'll shortly be a very proud graduate. Your journey throughout your courses wouldn't have been possible without the support of the people closest to you, your friends and your family. We would like to thank them most sincerely for being an anchor for you. I hope you will join with me in giving them the round of applause that they deserve. I'd like to conclude with some more thank yous, some very important thank yous. Firstly, to the academics. They have adapted and changed your programs of study to ensure you could stay on track during the pandemic. I'd like to thank the professional and administrative staff who have worked and looked after you so hard in so many ways. I'd like to thank my fellow governors who help guide this institution. But also thank you to everyone who has made this ceremony such an occasion for you. And I'd like to particularly mention the Dean and Chapter of this fine cathedral. The fact that you are here is thanks to them, and again indicates the close working relationship between the university and the cathedral, that relationship which has been with us from the very beginning. But lastly, and most importantly, I want to thank you who are graduating today for your commitment, your flexibility in such changing and challenging times. Today, in this wonderful setting, with the splendor of the fanfares, we want to give you a day you will remember forever. You are why the university exists. And very soon, we'll all have the opportunity of congratulating you individually. Thank you.
Pro-Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you this graduand for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit this graduand to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of the University of Chester.
For a programme of study entitled An Analytical Methodology for the Investigation of the Relationship of Music and Lyrics in Popular Music, Alex D. Pro-Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you these graduands for admission to the degree of Master by Research in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit these graduands to the degree of Master by Research of the University of Chester.
Jennifer Claire John. Pro-Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you these graduands for admission to the degree of Master of Arts in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit these graduands to the degree of Master of Arts of the University of Chester.
Jonathan David Atkinson. John Leslie Charles Boone. Megan Kerry Natasha Dabbs. Jessica Lee Eaton. Michelle Edward Sutton. Oliver Sebastian Albert Fennell. Christopher Anthony Hayes. Joshua Adam Hollinrake. Brittany Howard. Nia Kerr Ebanks. Andrew Lee. Leah Lee Mills. Amy Ann Molan. Ruth Philippa Pacheco Lopez. Kerry Pears. Saim Rayhan. Sean Rooney. Bethany May Round. Emily Shalane Sanderson. Amy Louise Sewell. Natalia Sky. Bethany Alice Town. Michael Thomas Wall. Amy Hope Weedle. Ellen Williams. Pro-Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you these graduands for admission to the degree of Bachelor of Arts in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit these graduands to the degree of Bachelor of Arts of the University of Chester.
Dana Leslie Adams. Paige Adams. Amy Grace Arrowsmith. Ruth Charlotte Ashbrook Burrows. Maisie Balderston. Jack Michael Ball. Catherine Bancroft. Cara Nicole Barker. Sam Paul Barlow. Lauren Elizabeth Barnes. Freya Eve Barras. Keris Bascom. Elizabeth Helen Baxendale. Olivia Beale. Callum Beaver. Lewis Frank Benning. Abigail Berry. Jessica Berry. Madison Bevins. Sam Bolton. Adrian Bursam. Kieran Luke Brennan. Emilia Brooks. Daniel James Brown. Holly Brown. Thomas Anthony Brown. Corey Jake Bryan. Neve Louise Buckley. Carrot Bullock. Chelsea Rebecca Busby. Alicia Butterworth. Connor David Caldecott. Neve Carding. Emma Catherine Charnock. Lucy Childs. Maya Elizabeth Chilton Thomas. Lucy Christian. Jakob Chihi. Olivia Clark. Stephen Clayton. Amy Clough. Georgia Lee Clutton-Baxter. Grace Scarlett Collinge. Michael Collins. Chloe Louise Corcoran. Leighton Corlett. Mariana Alexandra Korstash. Abigail Elizabeth Cotter. Georgia Cox. Chloe Craig. Catherine Croft. Maria Louisa Cruz O'Brien. Grace Emily Daniel. Melissa Dasher. Claudia Davis. Molly Davis. Sean Davis. Neve Dickinson. Katya Dimitrova. Sophie Downs. Bethany Ann Edwards. Heather Edwards. Joseph Ellis. Jordan Farley Moss. Rebecca Lynn Farrell. Russell Stanley Fern. Rishan Fernando. Maya Filpiak. Susanna Fletcher. Mia Rochelle Elizabeth Foster. Natalie Foster. Nikolai Michael Gabriel Gabrish. Shannon Jade Gallagher. Cassandra George Omogbehin. Jordan Glenn. Benjamin Goodwin. Jade Diane Gore. Sean Gorman. Kira Gorst. Thomas Gould. Hannah Granger. Alessandra Greco. Emma Louise Gregson. Callum James Gridley. Suzanne Ann Grundy. Elisha Hadland. Catherine Beth Haig. Joel Alexander Hale. Chloe Hall. Jodie Hall. Aoife Halligan. Isambard Hamilton. Russell Hannick. Tasfia Hock. Jack Harrison. Max Hawkins. Millicent Avril Hayward. Olivia Hendry. Marvin E. Henrius. Jordan Hewitt. Anna Hill. Samuel James Hindley. Lauren Hitchmo. Nicholas Holloway. Stephen Holt. Hayley Ann Hume. Georgina Huxtable. Dina Liss Intress. Lucy Ann Irwin. Jamie Henry Johnson Gore. Caitlin J. Jones. Callum Anthony Jones. Nina Jones. Emily Rebecca Jukes. Terence Andrew Kearney. Orlaith Keating. Rosalind Scarlett Kelly. Heather Elizabeth Kendall. Stephen John Kennedy. Laura Jane Keoghan. Sayeeda Muslima Khatun. Shona Kirkham. Kristin Klungovic. Robbie Lambert. Amy Lawton. Hazel Lawton. Naomi Lehupu. Marcus Lister. Sophie Michelle Little. Megan Louise Lloyd. Dean Joseph Lockett. Chloe Sophia Longley. Courtney Lovett. Ellie Lyon. Victoria MacDonald. Helen Mary McDougall. Megan Malcolm. Caitlin Martin. Annie Maskell. Callum Mason. Chantel Mason. Danerka Jade Mather. Ryan Edward Michael Matthews. Kate McCulloch. Brooke Leah McDowell. Rihanna Alicia McEvans. Hannah McGuckin. Leonie Tia McLaughlin. Louise Danielle McLaughlin. Stephanie Mehag. Andreas Melanakritis. Rose Josephine Meredith. Jodie Ella Mobbs. Megan Elizabeth Moore. Talia Moses. Dowd Muggle. Erin Nern. Stephen Narlock. Max William Nicholson. Daniel Paul Noble. Fionn Odell. Bethan Page. Joy Parker. Ryan Parker. Caitlin Parker-Jones. Melissa Parry. Emma Jane Pinnington. Charlotte Platt. Georgina Francis Price. Samantha Pritchard. Parwood Promsorn. Anya Ray Nenberg. Morgan Reddin. Naomi Reddy. Stephen William Edward Reed. Freya Reesin. Sharon Alicia Richards. Anna Riley. Anna Roberts. Bozina Roberts. Oliver Rowan. Paige Rowan. Caitlin Rowe. Alexandra Julia Ryan. Dunia Sadiq. Sarah Jane Sadler. Tira Pong Sao Buppa. Carla Helen Saunders. Rosie Jane Scott. Ashley Smedley. Jennifer Smith. Miranda Jane Smith. Renaz Spons. Sophia Stenson-Jones. Andrew Stinson. Chloe Ann Sutton. Zach Robert Talbot. Bradley Oliver Taylor. Lily Mary Taylor. Fionn Thornton. Rebecca Upton. Cassandra Valance. Gonya Vergunchu. Megan Wainwright. Faye Walden. Lauren Leigh Walton. Ryan James Mark Warren. Connie Elizabeth Chloe Watson. Charlotte Emily Watton. Jacob Owen Hewell. Lucy Whisker. Hannah White. Samantha White. Taylor White. Alice Williams. Jade Williams. Olivia Williams. Jessica Wynne Jones. Amy May Young. Daniel James Zeeley. Feng Ting Zhu. Pro-Chancellor, I make application to you to present the degrees and awards listed to those candidates at the University of Chester who have not been presented in person, but whose names appear in the programme and who have indicated that they wish their degrees to be presented in their absence. I certify that they are worthy to receive those degrees and awards, and I stand as proxy for them.
I admit them to those degrees and present those awards, and I accept you as proxy. I now call on the public orator to present the honorary graduand, Stephen Hoff, for the admission to this degree.
Good afternoon, Prynhawn Da. Well, that magnificent organ fanfare that just greeted us is a very appropriate way to introduce you now to the musician and performer Stephen Huff, CBE, who today will be receiving the award of Honorary Doctor of Music. Stephen is a classical musician who has been described as one of the most distinctive and unique piano players of his generation. He is regularly ranked as one of the world's greatest pianists. His musicianship was described by The Guardian, and I quote, as the most perfect piano playing conceivable. Stephen was born in Heswall on the Wirral. His family hails from across Cheshire, North Wales, as well as further afield, such as Australia. As a youngster, his talent for music was spotted early on by his father, who noted that aged just 2, he had managed to memorize over 70 nursery rhymes. Stephen would first encounter a piano tucked away in the corner of his Aunt Ethel's house in Warrington, and subsequently begged his parents to buy him a piano. They eventually acquiesced, providing him with an instrument from the local antique shop that cost them £5. Well, from this, he quickly revealed himself to be a virtuoso, and by the age of 8, he had been invited to participate on television in Hughie Green's Opportunity Knocks, an opportunity that his parents said no to, something that Stephen maintains was absolutely the right decision. His musical education took him to Cheetham School of Music, the Royal Northern College of Music, and a master's degree from Juilliard in New York. As a young man, he was twice on the verge of becoming a Catholic priest, but the call of music was simply too strong. His faith, however, has remained deeply important to him throughout his career and continues to exercise his mind. As a professional musician, Stephen has toured internationally, extensively recorded, and the diversity, breadth, and vastness of the repertoire undertaken throughout his career, along with a range of other diverse artistic pursuits, is nothing short of staggering. Live performance, however, remains his greatest love, and his recital career has taken him across the globe. You are hard-pressed to find a major concert venue that he hasn't performed in. From the Royal Albert Hall to the Royal Festival Hall, from Lincoln Centre to Carnegie Hall, these are all familiar homes to Stephen. He has performed with the Royal Liverpool Philharmonic, the London and the New York Philharmonics, and with symphonic orchestras that have included Chicago, Boston, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, Dallas, and Toronto, to name but a very small selection. He has performed at the BBC Proms, having made over 25 concerto appearances. Of particular note was a series of performances of the complete piano and orchestra works of Tchaikovsky. His acclaimed recording career is equally decorated with awards. His glorious recording of the complete Chopin waltzes received the Diapason d'Or de l'Année, the most prestigious recording award in France, along with his masterful recording of the 5 concertos by Camille Saint-Saëns, which won the coveted Gramophone Gold Disc Award, which is presented to the most significant recording of the past 30 years. Stephen is also a renowned composer, an arranger, a poet, an artist, a writer, a philosopher, and a teacher. He is a brilliant example of a contemporary Renaissance man. His accolades have included a MacArthur Fellowship Award, nicknamed the Genius Award. He is an honorary member of the Royal Philharmonic Society, and in 2014 he was appointed Commander of the British Empire in the New Year's Honours for his services to music. His great successes have helped ensure that classical music has been brought to wider and more diverse audiences. Stephen reminds us all that we must be proud of classical music. It's an amazing thing. And of course, there is nothing like the experience of going to any live performance, which is far more than just simply sitting down and listening to the music. It's theatre, We need to feel it. We need to sense the electricity. And he reminds us, of course, of what a valuable social opportunity attending live performance is. The chance to gather with friends and family and to enjoy a unique and often moving experience. For Stephen, the acknowledgement of his work by the University of Chester is particularly special to him, given his local roots. After all, this was the area where he grew up and where he first discovered and learned his craft. We are so delighted to have this opportunity today to recognise his momentous career and to have this opportunity to welcome him back home to Cheshire. Pro-Chancellor, in the name of the Senate and of the Council, it's with great pleasure that I present to you Stephen Huff, CBE, for admission to the degree of Doctor of Music, honoris causa, of this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Music, honoris causa, of the University of Chester. It gives me great pleasure to invite Dr. Hoff to address the congregation.
Well, follow that. Thank you so much for that wonderful music. And thank you all very much. I don't think anyone's ever had a complaint lodged against them for making too short a speech. So in that noble tradition, I have one sheet of paper here. You'll be able to get to lunch fairly soon. But firstly, of course, I want to thank the University of Chester for this great honor of giving me this doctorate. Where I stand right now is an easy drive from where both my parents and their families for hundreds of years were born and lived. Wirral, Liverpool, North Wales, and my own place of birth, Heswall in Cheshire. I think it's about 12 miles from here, so if you got on your bike, you could still have lunch there. So there were also wanted to mention that, there were Huffs living in this part of the world back in the 1200s. There's a town called Thornton Huff, which again is less than 20 miles from here. So today I really feel like I'm standing on all my roots, right where I am. And so that makes me especially delighted by this honorary degree. But I also stand here as an evangelist, yes, in this magnificent cathedral, an evangelist for classical music. It's the reason I'm here today. And you might well ask, why are these classical works of interest to us hundreds of years after they were written? Well, there are many answers to that question, of course, but one of them has to do precisely with this idea of the generations which have gone before us. The great classical composers have not just left us their written down music, but somehow they're fellow humans, travelers, our friends. They've explored the deepest range of our shared emotions, from ecstatic joy to the most profound pain. When we listen to this music or play it, it's as if the composers are listening to us and playing us. They've left us keys to explore our own inner worlds. To take one example, to be absorbed in the music of Schubert, someone who died in 1828 of an STD in his early 30s in poverty and degradation, is somehow to stride across the centuries and to feel a connection with the whole human race. This is not nostalgia in an escapist way, but rather an engagement with what it means to be fully human. Music is soft power. Lacking words, it can be the most effective way to communicate with people from different backgrounds, different cultures, different beliefs, beyond eras and fashions and passing fads. Out of words have come wars, so let's keep making music. Thank you very much.
I now invite the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Eunice Simmons, to address the congregation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am the very proud Vice-Chancellor of the University of Chester. And as your long-awaited graduation ceremony draws to a close, we hope it has been memorable for you and for those who've been alongside you through your studies. Whether this has been your first degree, whether it's been decades since you last studied, whether you graduated with us only a month ago, whether you're full-time, part-time, an apprentice, or a career changer, we're here with you on the next stage of your journey. Indeed, our Careers and Employability team will help you navigate finding your first, second, even third job or beyond. And perhaps you're an entrepreneur looking to pursue your own enterprise, in which case we can also provide business startup support. So our Development and Alumni Relations Office is here to keep you connected to your university. And staying in touch with us and your fellow alumni is incredibly important and beneficial. Within that extensive network could be your next employer, mentor, or client. And today, you're celebrating being part of a community that by the end of 2022 will be 100,000 strong, living and working in 135 countries. Your souvenir program has more details about the value of this free lifelong link. And just as you've exercised your student voice with us, we hope you will continue to use your graduate voice through the Graduate Outcomes Survey, because by doing so, you'll benefit your current and future professions, as well as current and future students on the same journey as you. This is a national questionnaire run by our survey partners, and you'll be contacted some 15 months after completing studies. Your voice really does matter, and if you've already completed it, many thanks for your participation. Now, we'd also like to hear from supporters of our graduands. We hope you've enjoyed today, not only as proud guests, but also as visitors to this wonderful city of Chester. Our civic partners, some of whom are represented here today, will welcome feedback from our graduate guest survey. This will also help us ensure the best experience for all who attend our ceremonies in the future. So, this is only the beginning of your next chapter. We wish you success and fulfillment wherever your next steps take you. We have been making history as an institution since the 1800s, and we're now privileged to have your contributions and achievements as students to be part of our story, just as we're part of yours. So, for those here, please join us in the marquee on the Cathedral Green to celebrate. And to those watching online around the world, thank you and goodbye for now. To all of you, our newest alumni, congratulations once again. You will always be part of the University of Chester, and the University of Chester will always be part of you. Well done.
I declare closed this congregation for the presentation of degrees and awards. Salva sit Universitas Nostra, quod precantes consugamus.